Ever wonder what it takes to get rich without being lucky? What are the mistakes the middle class made that prevent them from getting rich? Ever wonder how rich people make their decisions to set themselves apart from the rest? When people are thinking about getting rich, they will answer something like maybe find a good job, like a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer. Or they will tell you to grind as hard as you can. I still remember a quote from Elon Musk like, work every waking hour, or work twice the time so you can get twice done. But hard working is just a part of the equation. Even if you work 16 hours a day in a McDonald's making burgers, and you work 7 days a week, you wouldn't get rich, but destroying your body. So in this video, I will summarize the book, The Almanack of Naval Ravikant. And after you watch this video, you will understand what it takes to become rich without being lucky from some of the greatest lessons of this book. Specific knowledge. I guess this is one of the most confusing concepts throughout all the chapters, so I'll try my best to explain it. First of all, why should we even consider about building specific knowledge? Building specific knowledge will make you irreplaceable in this society and make you find your unique position to get rich. Let's take a look at some properties of a specific knowledge. First, specific knowledge is knowledge that cannot be acquired through education. If the society can train you, the society can also train somebody and replace you. Instead, specific knowledge can be built through apprenticeship, which means learning through doing real projects. Second, specific knowledge is found by pursuing your curiosity and passion rather than following trends. Third, your specific knowledge should feel like play to you, but feel like work to others, which means you genuinely like the nature of the task. School can force students to be good at a subject, but it's impossible to force students to fall in love with a subject. Even with these three principles, it's still hard to grasp what exactly specific knowledge is. And if you ask me, what kind of skill can't be trained by education? Well, nothing can't be trained. No matter whether it's a doctor, an engineer, or a lawyer, they can all be trained. But what about a weird combination of multiple skills? That would be less likely to be trained or copied. Dream, a YouTuber making Minecraft manhunt videos, is a combination of world-class speedrunner, PvP player, and video producer. Even if somebody tries to copy what Dream did, they can't copy the feeling that Dream can give to his audience. Alex Hormozi is a combination of gym guy and business owner. So it makes sense for him to say something like, do 1,000 reps of the thing so it's impossible to suck, which is something only a gym person will ever say. So specific knowledge is a combination of multiple skills that makes it really hard for other people to compete with you. Naval said it might take 10 years to build your specific knowledge because first, you need to get good at multiple skills, and second, you need to find a way to monetize a combination of those skills you have. Also, there isn't a step-by-step guide to build your specific knowledge, because if there's a step-by-step guide, it means it can be trained. Instead, building specific knowledge requires a deep understanding of your own strengths and your own passions. You can try to think about two things. First, what are the things you spend so much time thinking about or doing? And second, what are things you don't put a lot of effort into, but still do better than your peers? These two questions might give you a good starting point for building your specific knowledge. For myself, I love reading nonfiction about learning techniques, self-improvement, and psychology since I was a high school student. I'm obsessed with books like Peak, written by Anders Ericsson, Atomic Habits by James Clear, and Deep Work by Cal Newport. I mean, those books aren't supposed to be read by a 17-year-old dude, but when I was 17, just genuinely loved to read them. As I like learning, I also like to share my thoughts because reading without sharing is a pure waste of time. And not until 2026 did I start this channel to share my favorite books. While I don't think I have built a strong, specific knowledge, sharing books and learning tips will be my starting point. Leverage. Find tools that 10 times, 100 times, or even thousands times your output. While Naval is a business guy, leverage in his words doesn't mean to borrow money from the bank and all in the stock market. Leverage here means something that can multiply your output many times under the same amount of money, time, or effort. The oldest form of leverage is labor. If one person can make one burger in 1 minute, then 10 people can make 10 burgers under the same time. It's a good form of leverage, but it takes money to hire laborers and may need some leadership or management skills, so they don't go against you. Money is the second form of leverage because you can invest your money into stocks, bonds, or currency. If you're patient enough, the money can literally multiply itself with no extra effort. But of course, money as leverage is kind of tricky because investment is just like predicting the future. And if it's that simple, then we will have way more Warren Buffetts in this world. The first two types of leverage are not the main focus of this book. The most interesting and important form of leverage nowadays is products or services that have zero marginal cost of replication, like websites, software, books, or the video you're watching right now. Not until the printer was invented did this form of leverage exist. Book copies are made manually by human hands, and it might take several weeks, up to one entire year, to copy a book, so the cost of replication is extremely high. But now, we have a printer that makes copying a book cost absolutely nothing compared to the past. That's why printed books, or something like newspapers, are the earliest products with zero marginal cost of replication. And nowadays, not only do we have printed books, but we also have websites on the internet, videos on YouTube, software applications, and even AI. YouTube, for example, once the creators have made the video, it costs zero extra cost to let 10 people, 1,000 people, or even 1,000,000 people watch that video. The outsource mindset. One of the key differences between Naval and middle-class people is that Naval vigorously trades money for time. He said that you should set an aspirationally high hourly rate for yourself. Naval set his rate at $5,000 per hour. And then, if you can outsource something for less than your hourly rate, you should find somebody else do it for you. No matter if it's cooking food, cleaning your house, replying to emails, or anything you don't want to do by yourself, you should outsource them because your time is more expensive than that. He said that the hourly rate you set should be high enough to make you afraid. If you're not afraid of it, then it's not high enough. And also, the hourly rate you set should be much higher than how much you can currently earn because you trust your future self will be good enough to afford that, and you're just borrowing money from your future self. This mindset also affected how I make YouTube videos. I used to think that I should learn everything and do everything on my own, so I can save up more money. But I realized I'm so wrong, because I should not trade my time for money, but it should be the other way around. Second, even though I like writing and coming up with video ideas, I'm not that good in design visuals and editing video. So recently, I start outsourcing my work to a video editor or designer to save up my time. Don't play zero-sum game. A zero-sum game is a concept from game theory. It's easier to understand by a single elimination tennis tournament. In a single elimination tournament, once you lose once in the tournament, you're out. And then we denote winning a match as +1 because the winner feels good. And we denote losing a match as -1 because the loser feels bad. And then we try to sum up the total points of all matches up until the final. What will we get? 0. No matter if there are 32 players, 64 players, or more, it will still be a 0 because a winning game for a person always means it's a losing game for their opponent. Naval suggests we should avoid playing zero-sum games, especially the status game. People like to compete for something like being the most hardworking employee or making the most contribution to the company. But the only way to win the status game is by stepping on top of others. Naval said it isn't worth the time to play this kind of game, as there is no value created during the competition. Instead, we should focus on playing a non-zero sum game. Wealth game is a non-zero sum game. The moment you become wealthy, it doesn't stop your friend from becoming wealthy as well. Making YouTube videos is not a zero-sum game either. Channels can grow together by promoting each other's channels. Non-zero-sum games encourage value creation through collaboration among people. And unlike zero-sum games, non-zero-sum games can have more than one winner. 3 important questions for young people to figure out. I don't find many people mentioning this in their videos. Naval encouraged us to spend more time on making important life decisions. This includes the city you live in, the people you spend time with, and the work on spending 8 hours doing every day. We often spend so much time on a job with so little time deciding whether the job fit us. We get into a relationship or even get married too quickly, but realize he or she is the wrong person. And we also don't realize how important it is to choose a city we love. The city's culture affects how we build relationships with people. The food, the air, and the water could dictate your health condition. The industries of the city will dominate our career opportunities, and so on. Naval said that, especially for young people, they should spend way more time thinking about these questions before committing to them, so that they don't regret their decision when they turn older. Play long-term game. Most of the returns in life come from compound effect, no matter its health, money, relationship, or knowledge. Naval said 99% of your effort is wasted, and only the 1% can be compounded into massive returns. The piano lesson you took when you were young can't be compounded because you're not playing it anymore. The language you've studied can't be compounded because you don't speak anymore. The wrong people you had dated before your wife can't be compounded. What Naval wants to say here is not to discourage you from working hard or trying new things. What he emphasizes is that you will eventually need to figure out what is the 1% that is truly valuable for you. And if you can figure it out earlier in your life, you will have more time enjoying the return that is brought from the compound effect. This also means that the best moment to start doing a thing was 10 years ago, and the second best timing to start is now. So if you have something you want to try, whether it's a hobby, a skill you want to learn, or a business you want to try, the best moment to start is today. So this is part 1 of the book summary of the Almanack of Naval. We've covered the first half of the book, which is about building wealth, and part 2 will be about happiness. If this video reaches 50 likes, I will also make the second part of the book. Thanks for watching.